Welcome back. Back to one of our top stories today. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry into State Capture will resume this morning Parktown at about 9:30 and is expected to hear testimony from the former Group CEO of Denel, Riaz Saloojee. Let's bring in now SABC's Mthethwa, live for us in Parktown Johannesburg. In Bali, thank you very much indeed for your time. So, former Denel board chair yesterday reportedly telling the Zondo Commission that the Denel Asia venture did not make commercial sense. What were some of the salient points that came out of her testimony?
Good morning, Eben. My apologies. Good morning. Yes, indeed, she did testify that the deal did not make commercial sense when Judge Raymond Zondo spoke to her and asked her questions about why it didn't and who stood to benefit from this deal. She basically explained to the commission that it was only Salim Essa and the owners of VR Laser, saying that Denel South Africa rather did not stand to benefit. She also pointed out that the deal should have also been done with another state-owned enterprise and not a private entity like VR Laser. And she also explained that there were two boards at Denel. The one was the 2010 board that she was also a part of, which championed a turnaround strategy. Now, the turnaround strategy yielded great rewards for Denel at the time. This was in 2010. She says that the order book increased to 35 billion rand, and she says that this was basically a Denel that was on its way to financial sustainability. But however, when the board was changed in 2015, this then changed, and this board was the one that oversaw this Denel Asia deal. And she also mentioned that this board, the 2015 board, was also somewhat inexperienced and lacking in certain skills, and some of these skills included CAs. Now, she also explained to the commission that a Deloitte report had explained that they needed more CAs, people with financial qualifications and CAs on the board, and this board did not have that.
Yeah, look, next on the stand, I understand, was the former VR Laser shareholder. Tell us about what did he say. It was Madoda Gianni.
So Madoda Beni Gianni, so there's a lot of confusion about his name. Let me just explain that first before going on. His name is, I think his given name is Madoda John Gianni, and he's also known as Beni Gianni to his business associates. So for the purposes of this crossing, we'll just refer to him as Beni because he was referred to as Beni, but those are all his names. And this is just so that people are aware of who he is and so on, and we don't lose the viewers with regards to, who this person is. But Beni Gianni is a former CEO and chairperson of VR Laser. He says that he was there for a very long time, and he was there and he turned the company around from just being a steel maintenance company to being one of those really good armament manufacturing companies that only competed internationally and not in South Africa. So he says he was first introduced to Gupta business associate Salim Essa when he was at an exhibition in Abu Dhabi, and after that they then met at the Michelangelo in December that very same year, which was 2013, and he says a deal was signed with regards to the sale of shares of VR Laser. He sold them to Salim Essa as well as Iqbal Sharma. That's what he told the commission. But much to his surprise, on the 6th of January in 2014, he was called downstairs to meet four gentlemen who were saying that and who had alleged that they were owners of the company. Now, he tried to contact Salim Essa and Iqbal Sharma to communicate, to find out what was going on, and he was saying that rather he wasn't aware that they were actually facilitating a deal for someone else. And among those four gentlemen who were there claiming to be owners of the company was none other than Rajesh Tony Gupta. And he said that if Salim Essa and Sharma were forthcoming with information, he probably wouldn't have signed off the shares to a Gupta associate, or to anyone associated with the Guptas, because at the time media reports were coming up about the controversial landing at Waterkloof and so on, and the wedding and so on. So he just wasn't sure about if he wanted to do business with these people. He also explained to the commission that he felt betrayed, because when these four gentlemen, including Tony Gupta, came in, they started marginalizing him and sidelining him and telling staff to report to them and no longer to him. He said that the arguments increased between the new owners and himself, and he felt that it was taking a strain on his health. And he also realized that Sharma and Issa did not really want him, and he was not part of the future plans that these alleged new owners had for VR Laser, and therefore he made the decision to sell his shares. But he says, well, he had a 25.1% stake at VR Laser, and he decided to sell that, and the shares belonged to both himself and his wife. And he explains that he called a family meeting, and he explained to the family that, you know what, it was time to part ways with VR Laser. And he paints a picture that it was a very painful move for him to actually leave VR Laser, but he felt he had no choice, so he sold his stake to a shell company at the time, and the shell company was believed, a shelf company rather, and the shelf company was believed to have been owned by Rajesh Tony Gupta as well as Duduzana Zuma. And so that's basically what he explained to us. It comes across as though it was a hostile takeover to a certain extent, but he explained how he was at pains to leave the company that he'd worked hard to build.
Is starting any minute now, I think in about a minute's time. So I'm going to just ask you one final question and let you go. We're expecting Riaz Saloojee. He is the Denel Group CEO. What can we expect? What do we know about him?
Definitely, he is coming in. He is the CEO. We're just expecting him to corroborate some of the testimonies that we've heard from since Monday, basically. Now, we know that the commission is shining the spotlight on Denel between now and Wednesday, because we are aware that on Friday we're expecting former sports minister Fikile Mbalula to come in and also testify. But at this stage, we know that this week the commission has been shining the spotlight on Denel and the Denel Asia deal.
Yeah, Denel very much in the spotlight this week. Mbali, we'll let you go to take your seat. Mbalenhle Mthethwa is live for us in Parktown Johannesburg. Mbali, thank you.